Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wild and Wingless. Tonight I got with myself the Victorian guru, Gary Fitzpatrick. Gary, good evening. How are you?
Hi, Andrew. How you going?
I'm
Still
good,
don't
thank you.
like it.
Mate, geez, a lot of things have been happening lately, but
Well,
I just obviously you guys made it home safely from the WoW series up in Toowoomba.
sure did. Yeah, that weather was pretty gnarly, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe that. That was quite something. When Ryan in the driver's briefing said it will not rain tonight, I can promise you. I thought he was off his chops, and he was exactly right. It did not rain, but I
no,
thought it was going to pour at any second. We were about to get absolutely drenched.
yeah, that
But
that wind
yeah,
was that wind was crazy. The skies came over. We were actually driving, so you guys flew in.
yeah,
We were driving in early hours of the morning, and we had those wipers on full tilt, and I'm thinking, this ain't good. But yeah, Ryan knows his
yeah.
stuff. Ryan knows his stuff.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Um,
It wasn't our night, but that's the way it goes. It's
well,
we're looking
yeah.
for.
Actually, tell me about it. Tell me about your experience of the WoW series at Toowoomba, round one.
Yeah, it was. I thought the event was fantastic. I think that racetrack is just so good. Um, thank Christ we've got racetracks like that in Australia because they really do a lot for our sport. There's no doubt about that. From our perspective, we sort of just we were never really there. I felt like I thought we were pretty good in the second heat, and then I sort of changed the car a fair bit for the final, and Lloyd Hobson would kill me for changing it, but I did, and we were just too tight in the end, and just couldn't rotate the car. And I don't think we were the only ones in that boat.
Yeah.
But um, when I was talking to Steve Garlick, who owns the Brad Warren car, he said, "Oh mate, we were just freeing our car up all night and all night and all night." And I reckon sometimes when you go from being too tight, you know where you're headed in a
Hmm.
way, getting freer and freer and freer. And we were sort of too loose early, and then we sort of we got to a sort of middle point, and then didn't really know which way to
Yep.
sort of go for the final, and sort of cost us in the end. But that's racing, and that's the awesome part about it, isn't it? That's why we do it, to see how good we are at getting things right.
Yeah. So, was that your first time racing at Toowoomba?
No, we raced the national series there 4 or 5 years ago with Travis Miller.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
Yes.
Yeah, that was our only other experience at Toowoomba. I think we ran fourth that night.
Yep.
Um, it was good track then too. It was a very different track, but
Hmm.
like as in the conditions were different. But it was good. I loved it. I thought it was a fantastic night, and yeah, the racing for what the track was, which was it wasn't perfect. I thought the racing was as good as you'll get on a track like that.
Yeah. One thing I took away from it was the tyre wear. We pretty much brought home two brand new tyres, and our left rears
Mm.
didn't even get touched. It was great tyre wear, and I feel everyone in the whole field thought the same. Didn't even matter if your car was tight or not; still didn't hurt them.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to agree on one thing. They did something at that track, and it was the first time we've physically seen it with our own two eyes.
Mm.
We've spoken about
Yeah.
it, but man, I'm glad they did it, and I think I can now walk away saying you can have kids in pits. You can.
You can. I've had a number of people come to me over the recent times and tell me they've changed their tune on it
Yep.
after seeing how it work at Toowoomba. People have this thought that there's going to be kids running all over the place and getting in the way, and they're going to be parents are not responsible and they don't care for what their kids are doing. It's just not the
No.
case. Like it's just not. And I did a bit of a Facebook post about it because I really felt like it needed to be highlighted that
Hmm.
from particularly down here in Victoria that it can happen, and the guy who beat us all and convincingly in the end, mate, he had his kids climbing all over him all night, and as a family they were having a wow of a time. And
Yep.
guess who won? So I think it was fantastic, and I never felt like a kid. We were parked right near the dummy grid, and I never felt like there was kids running in the way of the dummy grid or anything.
Yeah.
Everyone was being so respectful. It was fantastic.
I also noticed on some of the other cars which were in other divisions racing on that night, they had children too, and I sort of
Yeah,
was watching how they were behaving. And I don't think they were like some of ours. Like, for example, Jason Bates and Karen Bates, they had little Maddie with them. Now she's pretty mature girl for her age. She's pretty smart.
Yeah.
They weren't. I didn't see them sort of babying her in a sense because she's not silly. You know what I mean? Like they're all smart enough. But I was watching these other kids over there, and it's like they've been almost accustomed to this for a few more races. That it
Yeah.
was just 100%. They knew where they could go, where they couldn't go. If they're going to go here, mum or dad, I need your hand across here. Like it's
Yeah.
second nature. It's second nature. But I thought it was really cool. I didn't realize at the time. I even spoke to Sammy Walsh, and I didn't realize till later that he had his young fella there too. Ricky
Yeah.
came up, and I thought, man, that was so cool. So Jason Bates had his daughter keeping an eye on him. Walsh had his son looking after him, and obviously, well, little Charlie was watching his little TV shows, but Willow was definitely keeping an eye on Scotty. So, but it was great. I thought it was great, and I've said it just recently to Mark Whiten. That's probably one thing I'm going to miss going to Eastern Creek is that
Yeah.
family aspect of it. Not that I've got young kids anymore, but just yeah, you know what I mean. Like you're not going to have that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And it was just like, ultimately the show wasn't a big sprint car show, so there wasn't a lot of the periphery crowd, but a lot of them were just in the pit because they're families and they're, instead of being sitting over in the hill, they were just in the pit. So, and it was fine. They had something like 140 cars in the pit.
they did too, didn't they?
It was crazy, but it didn't feel like that.
No,
Not one.
did not. No.
It did not.
What did you think about the quad bikes?
Yeah, once again, we were pretty lucky. We were close to the dummy grid, but I think everyone worked it out.
Yeah.
I don't think it was big. I don't think it was a big deal. There was no one complaining that they couldn't get their cars to the dummy grid.
No.
We actually, I had to hand push our car there once because our bike was off helping someone else. That was all right. We were fine with that. They were like, I don't think anyone missed the staging. Missed their call up at any stage or anything like that. It was fine.
Yeah, no, I thought so too. At first, just because we didn't know where the bikes were meant to go, it was a bit how you going. But once we all knew, after wheel packing, oh, dude, it was like clockwork. Our quad bike battery died on me, and I had to run back and get another battery and come back. But I think he had two other bikes offer him a pushback. So I was like, dude, this is what racing's all about. This is it. So all in all, for me, the WoW series was what it is. It was WoW. I loved it. We didn't have a good night. But besides that, you look on it from the entertaining side. I was entertained as a fan. I thought it was a terrific concept, came to light. Wade did a fantastic job keeping everyone entertained. I saw him with his phone out, running up and down the pits there, and at one stage he had the camera on us when we were fixing up the rear end and stuff. But dude, I think it I was always cautious at the start of it. Not sure which way I was going to go, but wow, man, I loved it. I love being a part of it.
Yeah, it only takes a couple of people to believe, doesn't it? And look, I think we all had our worries that it wasn't going to. But I think the great thing about wingless racing is that that the teams who are those 20 contracted teams, a lot of them are very experienced, have raced a lot. They're not. It's not just someone coming with a bucket load of money going, okay, I'm just going to put a team together and turn up and it's how it goes. It's a whole heap of people who have been in Speedway for a long, long time in all different facets of Speedway. We know the gig. We know the racing's going to be hard and challenging, and that's all part of it. We all accept it, and we're there to have a good time and test our mettle. That's what it was.
No. Who was your surprise on the night?
Look, I don't think it was a surprise, but Steve Garlick and Brad Warren. Steve's he's a really close friend of mine, and unfortunately lost his third grandchild at 33 weeks this week. So it's been a bit of a tough week for them. But 33 weeks pregnant, unfortunately. But Steve is a hard worker. He loves his racing. He's got a modified production, which is an absolute bullet as well. I think it was always going to be a matter of time until they really started to hit hard, like nationally. And a lot of people go, "Who the hell is Brad Warren?" And you know, that garlic car. But I think after the weekend, we all, you know, a lot of people in Australia, so that was really great. I think there was some people who were pretty unlucky. Tyson Martin was damn unlucky. You guys were unlucky. Sayer he was desperately unlucky. You know, he was strong in that first heat. He drove away from our car like it was standing still. That was impressive. And then, you know, had his moments in the second heat. But, you know, that's all part of it. You know, someone else will be on the other end of it next time.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. What did you think about the posse? Were you a fan of the posse at the end, or
as in when you say the posse, what do you mean? Like,
so the posse. So you had your 20 contracted cars. You could only take 20 to the show, and then your other ones coming in. We lost. I think was 3 contracted drivers missed out on the A. Unfortunate for those guys, but the posse. For me, one of my standouts. I already said it was Sammy Walsh. I don't know. I didn't know how he was going to take to a wingless, and he took a lot better than what I thought. I've seen other sprint car drivers go. You'd think they're going to go, you know, balls to the wall, and they go nowhere. So, but you're right. Yeah. Brad Warren was I didn't think of him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that like, you know, he was rolling in that BMA like a boss. Oh yeah. So he was no doubt about that. He sort of got the car where he was comfortable, and he started to put it where he wanted to put it. And you know, he's a racer, so he's going to take it. They're always going to be good. And, are they racing? Is he going to run again?
No, unfortunately, he's been. I want to say replaced loosely by Nathan Smee. So.
I did see something.
Yeah. So which is interesting because Ray Stancil's got a number of cars. I was actually trying to work out all these car numbers before. He's either got 4 or 5. You might have more. But Ray, why have you not got Sammy back in the car? You got spare cars. I don't know why. I thought let him drive, mate. Let him drive. That was awesome. But so mate, there is. We've got a few big boys coming down to Sydney. Just off the Ebony Hobson coming, the faster of the two. She's going to be there, which I'm pretty excited to see. Jackson Delamont, he's racing. I think there's a couple of people. And then you got Smee, you got Matt Seeley from Northern Territory coming for a show.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
So a non-contractor driver will win one of these shows.
You reckon?
So they will, yeah. And you know, when they get down to Victoria, they're going to start dealing with you know, Travis and Luke Wheel and you know, a number of other guys who are really very, very good. And you know, Jacob Johnson up to something. So
Jolly, you never know.
It's Australian top 3. So
we do have Luke Wheel. He's going to be at Eastern Creek, so I'm looking forward to catching up with him. So it's going to be great. So I'm looking forward to round 2. Tell me what's going on down there. So you guys got coming up this weekend the Super Series.
Yeah, first round of the Super Series. Super Series has been around forever. Like, certainly since we sort of got into wingless. It's at Darlington. A little known track to most people in Australia, but an awesome. I'm a huge fan of tight little bull rings like Darlington and Lang and these places. I think that it really you know, gives everyone opportunity. And I think we've got 28 cars. I was mentioning off the air before that Victoria's. I think we've had 7 shows. I could be wrong. Could be 8. Could be 6. But we've had no one's won a feature twice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Blaine Densley did win one at Warrnambool, but was taken off him, unfortunately.
Oh
yeah. So, but ultimately, you know, we're 7 from 7. So, you know, we'll see how we go.
That is so cool. Now, one thing I love with what you guys do down there is you get some good companies behind it. So this series is going to be sponsored by DirtX. So that's a good thing to have, getting Solomon on board to work with you guys.
Paul's a committed guy. He's I really believe he wants the best for the sport, you know, generally speaking, and you know, he's trying to build his brand, and you know, there's a lot of cars down here that run a lot of his stuff now. So it's a logical thing for Paul, I think, to sort of get involved with that.
Yep.
I'm sure they're all looking for more sponsorship though. I know they're sort of eagerly looking for sponsors now at the moment for SummerSlam as well, which is coming along. It should be a really, really good series, to be honest. I think it's really good.
So round one's this Friday night at Darlington. Yep. Then you've got it's round two's on the 7th, isn't it?
I think round two. Is Simpson a Super Series round? The next one?
Not sure.
I'm not sure. I can't remember whether it's Simpson or not, or whether we move on straight to Avalon in January as the next one.
Okay. Maybe I misread. Maybe I reset something else was on the 7th. Maybe it's not on the 7th because it wouldn't be that close, would it? Spread out.
No, not necessarily. Simpson does host the round at some point. No, I think it might be. It might be. Sorry, mate. I haven't.
No. I should be a better journalist and get my details correct. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. There's 26 or 27 shows in Victoria. You can't get lost with it a bit.
No, it's fine.
But yeah. And Simpson will get good car numbers. We usually to see if anyone comes down from anywhere else to have a crack at Simpson to try and get some laps in before. If they want to do SummerSlam or they want to do, or they want to, when WoW gets there, because it's a place you want to get your head around. So
I think you could go to Toowoomba and bluff your way through. I think you can go to Eastern Creek and bluff your way through. When I say bluff, I'm not saying it's easy, but if you stay out of trouble, you should make the show and go all right. Mildura, similar sort of deal. The only track out of all the tracks we're going to that I've got any, not concerns, but I'm like, oh, hang on, we need to get more data on this track. That's Simpson.
Yeah.
And we got to get down there. So you're probably right. I think that's going to be the turning point for the series. But yeah, who knows? I mean, geez.
It's a good track to have in the middle because that it's sort of going to sort everyone out a little bit. We're all looking forward to it. But I can imagine that. But to be honest, it's a place that a lot of people, even a lot of locals, have struggled at for years and years. And but once you've got it, it's a beautiful place. So yeah.
No, looking forward to that one. So tell me, Gary, what else is happening in Victoria Wingless at the moment?
What else have we got going on? I think the focus after this weekend in Simpson's going to head towards SummerSlam. Looking like it's coming together. There's still openings for SummerSlam.
Yep. Okay.
I think 72 cars that they're happy to take. I think they're up to mid-50s at the moment. So still a dozen, maybe 18 spots left.
Yep.
Which I'm sure will fill. And I think come a date they'll shut it down and just allow people to nominate for one night or 2 nights or whatever else they want to do.
Yep.
So SummerSlam's, I think, that becoming the premier event for Vic Wingless. There's no doubt about that. Everyone loves that belt.
Oh, you got to get that belt. Got to get that belt.
It's so cool.
Actually, I
remember the discussion we initially had with it. I think Travis Miller said, we need to get the belt. Like, why don't we get the belt? I think there's somewhere in America where they at Kokomo at the Kokomo what they call SmackDown.
Yeah.
The belt. So we just copied that. It's become something cool. I'm really pushing to have rings. For the feature winners every night to give them like a championship win. Which I reckon would be awesome. But anyway, it's a whole nother story.
Well, I asked Blake Walsh when he came to Toowoomba to bring up his belt. I wanted to see this thing, but I think he's making me come down to come down and see it down here. So I'll have to make sure that I'm there. But I love the gimmicks. I think moving forward, we spoke about a while ago was trophies. Not saying trophies are dead, but we've been doing trophies for years, since day one. Mark Blyton showed me his wall the other day in his garage. It's just got all those signs all over it. Like, that is impressive. Because you don't have to go up to them and, where's this one from? You know what I mean? It's like far away. Oh, dude, that's Archfield. Like, and you're thinking outside the box. The belts, the rings. I mean, those rings don't have to
Yeah.
be gold or silver. They can just be.
Nah.
You can get them pretty
Yeah.
cheap. I think I've seen them on
Yeah.
sale for like football teams, like your local rugby league club down the
Yeah.
road
Yeah.
can do it for their kids. Yeah, like $7. But yeah, that would be cool. That would be pretty cool, eh?
Yeah.
I like it.
I why not? That's what I think.
No,
And
you always think. I love it. Another thing you guys implemented was the post-race inspections.
yeah.
Now, I said before these even started, I loved them. I thought they were a great idea. How's that going now? Everything going good?
Yeah, look, it's a work in progress. There's no doubt about that. There's a bit of angst about it a couple of weeks ago, and I think the angst came because it's actually a really hard thing to to get people together to do it after a meeting is actually a challenge. So I think what they decided to do was not do computer checks after the fact,
Yep.
because then you don't have to impound cars if you're not doing a computer check. So effectively, everything else can happen at the back of someone's trailer. Like
Yep.
if you want to put a camera up a sump, or if you want to check a throttle body or whatever, right? People are going to find it really hard to change anything other than a computer after the fact. So I think they've gone to a sort of spot check on a computer through the night, just to sort of tick that box.
Yep.
And then go to the after thing, and that sort of allowed guys to go back to their trailers straight after the race rather than having to go park somewhere, wait for everyone to come, wait for a pill to be drawn, blah 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 blah. And the other challenge too was picking the pill, which was, you think it's all very easy, but the logistics of that is often harder than you think.
Yep.
So I think Sean said to me, what he does now is that he just walks straight up to the chief steward after the race, asks the chief steward to pick the pill, remember that number, and then that number just coincides with whatever's on the sheet, and they go about it that way. And then, the chief steward's got a record that they pick that number, and everything seems, it's all above board. So, it'll be a work in progress, and hopefully some other states can look at it and say, okay, well that seems to work, and maybe the guys down here have sort of ironed out some of the challenges around it, I suppose. But I think it's a really good thing, and club shows are, I feel, the most dangerous, not the most in regards to people running some stuff that's a bit illegal, because they're unlikely to get checked. And I think that's really unfair to the the average guy who just wants to go and race and have a bit of fun. Not that, and as Sean said, he said, I don't want to catch anyone cheating. It's not about trying to catch anyone doing anything wrong. He never wants to catch anyone cheating. That's not what it's about. It's about making sure there's just a deterrent in place if people think that, maybe I can get away with this, or maybe that's all.
That's how I see it. I see it as an insurance policy.
Yeah,
it's there. I actually, to be honest with you, like, I remember I was talking to someone as we were heading up, because we were really struggling to make Toowoomba with our there weren't enough hours in the day what we were trying to achieve. And I remember driving up there, and I was talking to someone, and I said, you know what, I'm really hoping that they've brought this post-race inspection stuff to this WOW series, because it'd be pretty cool to see. Unlike a normal club show where you've got to deal with X amount of people, all you have to deal with is 20 contractors. Like, okay, the posse, whatever. But regardless, I think it's a fantastic idea. So keep going with it. I'd love to see it, and hopefully one day we're actually a part of it. So, and I've got no qualms with being a part of it. I've seen how you guys handle things, so definitely no problem with that. You mentioned before the SummerSlam kicking off. So that's kicking off January 2nd to 5th.
Yep.
Ooh, that's starting to get on a lot of. As you said, the nominations are going. I've already heard people speaking in New South Wales about heading down there. That's where they're planning on spending their New Year's.
Yeah. It's awesome, because there's a sprint car show on at Warrnambool.
Yep.
On Australia on January 1st.
Yes.
I think Avalon's on the 30th, and there's on the 31st on New Year's night. There's no racing. Then on the first, Warrnambool, and then literally Lang, which is the first round of the series, is only 20 minutes from Warrnambool. So what I'm hoping for is a movement of people straight to Lang and onto it. And then I think there's a sprint car show at Simpson the next night when we're racing at Borderline. So potentially, fans could go Warrnambool, Lang, and then on to Simpson if they've sort of sprint car nuts.
Yep.
Or they can come watch us at Borderline, which would be good.
Either way, it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'll try and include the link for that because I did see the poster for it, so I'll put that up as well. But
yeah.
No, it's good. I just wanted to sort of touch base and see how you were after WoW. I was trying to get a video a little bit quicker, but I am slow at that. But thanks for giving me some time tonight, man, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, mate. I enjoyed my cold beer straight out of your rolling esky there, mate. I thought that was brilliant.
I went up to someone. I said, "Lucky dip," and he's like, looked at me funny. I thought, "Oh, jeez." There was some Pepsi. There was a Pepsi Max in there. I swear to God, it wasn't just beer. One Pepsi Max.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And I went down to see Tyson, and he's loading the car. I said, "Where's your dad, mate?" He's like, "Oh, who knows? Who knows?" And I walked away, and you've just got like one. You've just got your one hand on your whiskey, just like he's just over there, mate.
Yeah, no, I had to do a lap, and oh man, I drank a lot of beers that night because everyone wanted to have one. But I thank God they're Mr. Officer, they were light beers, so it was all good. But geez, a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. But anyway, I look forward to seeing you in two weeks' time at Sydney National Speedway. Is it 2 or 3? I don't know.
There,
Oh, you're not coming?
Good. Hopefully. Sorry?
Did you say you're not coming?
No.
Oh.
Looking forward to it.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
no. I think I might even drive up this time, which is unheard of for me. So we'll see how we go.
Well, hopefully I've got to find out. Yeah, there you go. I've got to find out where the party's at on the Friday night. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jason, Scott, I'll be calling you shortly. Answer the phone. Let's get that going. And, yeah. But anyway, man, I'll talk to you soon, bud.
I'll fly up if that's the case.
Oh, there you go. I'll get a taxi for you. Tyson will come pick you up. All right. Thanks very much, Gary. You have a good night, buddy. See you, mate.
Good on you, mate. Well done, Andrew.
Thanks.
See you, mate.
Everyone else, thanks very much for tuning in. Don't forget to jump onto the Victorian Wingless page and Facebook page to see all their racing details. And hopefully we'll see you guys down there too. Take care.